going on, Commanders fans? Welcome into the Commanders Report. It's your boy Joey Petersen filling in for Jack Sperry on today's episode. And unfortunately, I bring bad news because we got a very interesting update on Terry McLaurin, his status, his availability at OTAs, and his contract situation. I'll tell you all about it in just a couple of seconds. But before that, I need you guys to help me out, okay? Chase Sr., he hosts Eagles Now right here at Chat Sports. He heard us talking crap about Saquon Barkley making the Madden cover and all that junk, and he said, you know what? Eagles has over 100,000 subs. Joey, I bet you can't even get 1,000 likes on today's video. Well, that's up to you guys. Do you hate the Eagles? Can you help me out? Prove him wrong. Let's get to 1,000 likes right now. Alrighty, Jordan Schultz was the one who broke the news. Sources. Hashtag Commanders, all-pro wide receiver Terry McLaurin has made it clear, and Jack, there's a subsequent tweet right off of this one because it was too big. He's made it clear to the team that he's frustrated with the lack of progress on a long-term deal. As I previously reported, McLaurin unexpectedly left voluntary workouts after initially attending, and it remains to be seen whether he'll report from mandatory minicamp. McLaurin is entering the final year of his contract. Talks have been minimal. And I'll be honest with you. I'll shoot you straight. This is a little bit surprising to hear that Terry McLaurin is frustrated with the lack of progress in his long-term deal. My assumption over the past couple of weeks, because we all knew when he didn't show up the first time, right? But Jack told y'all, I told y'all, you know what? It's going to be fine. Calm down. My assumption was they were communicating heavily, going back and forth, but they just hadn't agreed yet on a number. That was it. But they were still in communications. But from this report, he's frustrated with the lack of progress. Talks have been minimal. What's going on? Well, I know what's going on. He's going to demand a lot of money. I don't want to say demand a lot of money, but his position demands he gets paid a lot of money. Look at the highest paid wide receivers. Jamar Chase tops the list at $40 million a year. Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, $34 million. To round at the top 10 is Jalen Waddle sitting at $28.25 million. You know who you don't see on that list? Terry McLaurin. You know who probably wants to be on that list? Terry McLaurin. Now, I'm not saying he's pounding the table and demanding $40 million a year. He's not demanding to be the highest paid wide receiver in football, but he wants what's fair to him. And I totally get it. And I totally agree. What say you guys? Should the Commanders extend to Terry McLaurin? You let me know in the comment section down below. Should be a resounding yes. But regardless, I put it up to you guys. When you look at the last 4 seasons, the fact that anybody has been able to go 4 straight years of 1,000 yards for the Washington Commanders is actually crazy. Now, it's not crazy to do it last year with Jaden Daniels. What's crazy is to do it the 3 years prior when this team was trotting out, it seemed like everybody and their high school gym teachers. Terry McLaurin has been the heartbeat of this offense for years. Now, you could argue it has a different heartbeat. That heartbeat's name is Jaden Daniels. And I would agree. I think the reins has shifted over from Scary Terry to JD. But that doesn't mean what Terry's been able to do for the entirety of his career for Washington, for a team that for the majority that he's been there hasn't been very good. Like, this offense would have been dead without him the past couple of seasons. And additionally, forget the past. Look to the future. Look to the now. The wide receiver core behind Terry isn't good enough. It's not. Sure, you added Debo. That's awesome. I think he's going to be an awesome addition. But is Debo Samuel capable of stepping up and being a wide receiver 1? The answer is no. We saw it last year. This is Debo Samuel's stats after Brandon Ayuk tore his ACL. This is Debo after being pushed up to a wide receiver 1 position. Played in 9 games. He averaged 3.5 catches and 37.2 receiving yards. Only 2 touchdowns in 9 games. Now, he brings a lot more to the table than just his ability to catch. He's great out of the backfield. He's awesome with the ball in his hands. But he also needs other players on the offense, other weapons, to be successful. That's why him and Terry together were so great. So my kind of take on this, I'm not going to put a bow on it because we still got to talk about it, but if you take Terry McLaurin off this offense, it takes a really, really big hit. And Washington cannot afford that. They cannot afford their weapons to be Zach Ertz, Noah Brown, Deebo Samuel, Brian Robinson Jr. They need Terry because Terry not only is the best of them all, but he makes everybody around him better too because he takes away their attention. Can't believe we're talking about this. Coming up, we got more on the contract, more on what he's making this year, what he's most likely going to ask for in the next couple of seasons. We'll break that all down, the numbers aspect, in just a little bit. But speaking of numbers, you like 25% off? Well, you can get it right now, chatsports.com/Commanders shirt. If you go to that link, it'll take you to this t-shirt. It was $40. Now it is $30. It looks clean, feels good. You know it's the best because it comes from Fanatics. Nike license, big W, nothing on the back. Looks good, feels great, only the best. Chatsports.com/Commanders t-shirt. How often can you get a t-shirt like that, a Nike shirt of your favorite team for only $30? Take advantage of that deal right now, 25% off in chatsports.com/Commanders shirt. That link's in the comments and description of today's video. So one thing I will say before we get into numbers is another reason I don't love this because these weeks are still crucial to develop chemistry. Okay, I know that Jayden Daniels and Terry McLaurin got an entire season together last year, right? That's great. You saw their chemistry week in and week out. But it doesn't mean that these OTAs, this mini camp, this training camp that is coming up soon, isn't still going to be crucial to their development. They've still got things to grow in together. This is supposed to be the year they take that step hand in hand. The contract projection for one Terry McLaurin, I'm thinking 3 years, $96 million. Okay? I don't think he's asking to be the highest paid wide receiver in football. I think he's asking to be top 5 because I think that's what he is. $32 million a year, I do that without hesitation. Everything that he's meant to this team, everything that he's meant to this franchise, everything he meant to Jayden Daniels last season. Massive, okay? And what confuses me the most is why these talks are stalling and why this franchise is so scared, maybe not scared, but maybe just not excited to give him that money. And yet they gave Javon Kinlaw 3 years, $15 million a year. I know it's different positions, but $15 million a year for a guy who's had 8 sacks in the last 2 seasons, 9 tackles for loss. Like, why are you so ready to overpay for Javon Kinlaw? Yet when the heartbeat of your team for the last 5 seasons wants to get paid like a top 5 guy in this position, talks are stalling. Doesn't make sense. This team, believe it or not, they can win a Super Bowl. I know you believe that, okay? However, this front office can't let this situation throw any kind of a wrench in things. Because if these talks stall, God forbid something happens and some team like the Pittsburgh Steelers, who just acquired Aaron Rodgers, swoops in with some big trade. I don't even want to talk about it. But this team going to Super Bowl. They better not let this situation do any kind of damage to that. I need you guys to tell me, how much would you pay for Terry McLaurin? Let me know your answer in the comment section down below. Give me a number. Be Adam Peters right now. And while y'all are down there, you'll see a big red sub button. Dare you to press it. Join us by subscribing to the Commanders Report for daily coverage of your favorite team in burgundy and gold.